to the Comic on Demand show.
All right, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to the live stream. My name is Mark Harmon, and you are watching the Comic on Demand show. This is the live drawing show where I will draw a 4-panel comic that will look something like this. But as you can see, it is blank. Okay, that is because I'm gonna let you tell me what to draw. So here's how it's gonna work. Make sure you can see the chat because this is how it's gonna work. I will put go in the chat. Okay, it'll say Mark Harmon go. It used to say Comic on Demand go, but for some reason now when I boot up this dumb thing, it doesn't like sign me into the chat, and I need to figure out why it's doing that. Anyway, so for right now, it'll say Mark Harmon and it'll say go. And then after that, then give me your suggestions of what you want to see me draw, okay? But I do have some rules, okay? So rule number 1, no suggestions of anything like copyrighted, like Superman, SpongeBob, Pepsi, whatever, right? So things that already exist, just to avoid any kind of copyright stuff, just don't even say that. And come on, you're more creative than that, right? Second, I'm gonna try to keep the show PG, so nothing super overly violent or raunchy or whatever. And 3, no celebrities, okay? And that rule is just because I just don't want to do it, man. So, drawing likenesses is hard, okay? And I don't want to be drawing likenesses because it's hard. And I cannot do hard things, okay? Despite what everybody says. All right, so you're going to see a little screen pop up with some little dancing people. And I'm going to put go in the chat as soon as that pops up. Then I will take the first 2 suggestions that come in after that, and I will turn those 2 suggestions into hopefully a funny 4-panel comic, okay? Right before your very eyes. It's like magic, but not really. All right, so let's do it. Let's get those suggestions right now. All right, we have our first 2 suggestions. Whoops. We have our first 2 suggestions of... All right, first suggestion is an alien and a human camping on Mars. And our second suggestion is a moped mechanic that only uses duct tape. All right. So let's get rid of these suggestions from last week. All right, what's it? Oops, I know how to spell. Alien and human camping on Mars. I just put my name. That was funny. Was that little narcissistic slip there? Is that what that was? And a moped mechanic with duct tape. I'll just put with duct tape. Boy, I can't type very well. All right. Okay. All right, well, hey, before I start, you guys want to see something? You ready for this? Boom, boom, boom. And me and my wife, we have this running gag because this happens all the time, is whenever we lose something and we look for it and look for it and look for it and we finally can't find it, we're just like, whatever, we'll just buy a new one, whatever that thing is. As soon as we buy the new one, we find the old one. And it's like every time, I swear every time this happens. And so I just bought all these cartridges for my brush pen. And as soon as I bought new cartridges, the next day, guess what? I found the ones that I knew I already had. So I now have 12 times 3 times 8. Anyway, I have a lot of ink cartridges. So we are not going to be running out for a long time here, people. All right. I got cartridges for days. And they were surprisingly not that expensive. It was 12 cartridges for like $8. So that's less than $1 a cartridge, right? So it's not bad. Okay. All right, whoops, zoom in. That's better. Okay. Alien human camping on Mars. Moped mechanic only uses duct tape. Okay. I have a vague idea in my head. Okay, let's start out. Ooh, look at that circle. I don't quite know what Mars looks like, but that's Mars. Because I think that looks more like Jupiter or something with the little swirlies, but whatever, you get the idea. Okay, establishing shot. Cop out where I don't have to draw much. Check. Let's just draw a couple rocks here. With a little campfire. And I can already hear the questions right now. Like, Mark, there's no trees on Mars. Where did they get that wood for the campfire? And to which I respond, none of your business. How do you like them apples? This is a comic, not a documentary. That's where the wood came from. That's gonna be a silhouette person with, now, we're gonna make this alien. I don't wanna just make it like the typical little green man, you know? I wanna make it a little different. I don't wanna do the cliche Roswell thing. Yes, the human brought the wood from Earth. Exactly. See? Thanks. It's an old Family spot. I don't know. Okay. All right, I got to go. Now I gotta go look at mopeds. You people making me go get reference all the time. Moped. Let's see. What? Actually, I like the look of Vespas more than like the little motor scooter. I like the look of Vespas more than I like the look of the ones that look like they're trying to look like a motorcycle, you know? So let's do. Oh yeah, sweet dude. That is like that's like the perfect thing I want right there. Boop. And then I need to throw it in this. And then I need to flip it. Yeah, whatever, duplicate it, whatever you gotta do, dude. I don't understand that. This program tells me that I have to duplicate the file in order to flip it. Like, why? Why won't you let me just flip it? Alright, dude. Okay. Now the tricky business of drawing a vehicle. Okay. I want y'all to know how, like, terrifying this is. Live drawing something from reference. It's nerve-wracking, okay? Like, if I was by myself, I could... And I'm trying to do it quickly, so that it's not taking all day. Good enough. Oof. Yeah, no, that's not gonna work. It's like one of those artists' greatest fears is that there's like a common joke in the art world of there's like a joke in the art world that like you draw really good when you're by yourself, but then as soon as someone starts watching you draw, things start turning out really crappy. So this whole like drawing in front of people, it's already nerve-wracking as it is, but then like I guess you can't see the reference. I mean, you saw it, but you're not currently seeing it, so it's like you can't get on me too much how accurate or not accurate it is, but still. like drawing an alien or a monster or something. You can't look at it and be like, that's not what an alien monster looks like, because how would you know? But if I was drawing from reference and you can see the reference as I'm drawing, then you can look at it and be like, that doesn't look right. So that's why it's kind of nerve-wracking, and that's why it's kind of... Anyways, it's just one of those things. It's like a musician or something, you know? If it's like if a musician is playing a song that they wrote, that they made up, and then they play it for you, you have no idea that if they're playing it right. But if they're playing like Mozart or some sort of song that everybody knows, then it's like, well, then you can tell if they hit a wrong note or not. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? Dance like no one is watching. Besides, there's a lag, so it's almost live. That's true. It's not quite live. The words that I'm saying right now, you're not even hearing right now. You're going to hear it like 30 seconds from now. Okay, now I need to make it look like duct tape everywhere. Okay. So listen, I don't know. I realize this isn't TMI Tuesday, but it's a good thing that that the internet doesn't have like smell-o-vision, because my pits are a little ripe right now. just thought you'd want to know. So it's basically, it just says, great campsite. Thinks it's an old family spot. And then there's a dude on a Vespa all taped up with duct tape. And he says, how did he get here? That's it. That's the joke. I don't know. I just thought it'd be funny to have a dude in a taped up Vespa show up on Mars. And they're just like, how did that guy even get here? Because he's in a taped up Vespa. So, that's what I'm doing. All right, now's the time for the mid suggestion. Okay, so if you didn't get a chance to put in a suggestion, now's your time to get one. Okay, so same rules apply. Same thing's gonna happen. Make sure you can see the chat. The little screen's gonna pop up, and yeah. So when you see the screen pop up, I'm gonna put go in the chat, and after I type the word go, then put your thing in the chat, your suggestion. All right. That apparently that was really hard to say for some reason. All right, do it. Okay, you know what? That is taken to, all right, sheesh. All right, kite flying. Okay, our mid suggestion is kite flying. That was taking too long, and I was like, dude, this is taking way too long, and so I was like, I'm just gonna start it up and start inking, and then you can. What in the world is that thing doing? That was weird. Anyway, okay, mid suggestion, kite flying. Oh, let's do that. Let's attach a kite to the motorcycle moped guy. Okay. Kite attached to the moped guy. All right. Okay, we have, all right, we have a question of, 2 questions. What was your favorite family vacation? Or how far have you traveled on a moped? All right, so the second question is easy. I have traveled 0 on a moped. I have never ridden a moped before. So, question answered. Well, okay, hold up. My adopted sister-in-law, she has like one of those fake mopeds that's just battery operated. It's like a, you know, it's like those little Jeeps that like kids drive around in that's just a battery powered. It's like that, only it looks like a Vespa. It looks like a, you know, a moped, but it's not like real. It's just, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so I've ridden on one of those before, and I don't think that really counts. But I've never ridden in a gas-powered moped. How's that sound? And then favorite family vacation. I would have to say that one would be when we went to, my wife's parents used to have a timeshare, and it was in Pagosa Springs, Colorado. And so they let us use it. So we went to Pagosa Springs, Colorado. And then close by there is the Great Sand Dunes National Park. And that was super cool. That's the one I have. If anybody's ever seen it, it's on my regular YouTube channel that's just called like Mark Harmon Illustration or something like that. I have it's like a family vacation video or something. And I have some video footage. Like most of it, I think most of the video is like just kind of picture and music slideshow. But then near the end, I have actual video of us going down the sand dunes on these sandboards. And that was super fun. Like, I got sand in places I didn't know you could get sand, but it was fun. And it was really strange. Like, the Great Sand Dunes National Park is really weird. Like, because it looks like it just looks like somebody took like a chunk of the Sahara Desert and just dumped it right in front of this like snowy mountain range. So it's like it's like the Rockies, you know, like it's in Colorado. So you got this big snowy mountain range, a little bit of land, and then out of nowhere, it looks like someone just took like a big chunk of the Sahara Desert and just like dumped it. And so it looks like it's these sand dunes, these giant sand dunes, but they look like they're out in the middle of nowhere, like they don't belong. And it's really cool. And the sand dunes are really high. And anyway, you can like rent a board at this board shop that's in this little town close by. I can't remember the name of the town. But you rent these sandboards and you surf down the sand dunes like it's a wave or something, or like it's a snowboard, you know. That was super fun. That was probably my favorite family vacation. And like the timeshare thing was like, I don't want to say it was like an apartment complex, but kind of. I guess they were just like this like line of condos, I guess, maybe, right by this lake. So it was like right out the window of the condo thing was like a lake with ducks and stuff. And then also right by it was like a little mini golf course. So it was really fun. There was lots of stuff to do. We were never bored. We were never like, oh, what should we do? Our days were pretty much like jam-packed. Like, it wasn't a relaxing vacation. It was a very fun, you're absolutely pooped at the end of the day family vacation, you know? I can't remember how long ago this was. I want to say it was 2017, 2018, something like that. I think my twins are 17 now, and I think they were like 11 or 12 when we did this. Is it a long walk up the dune, or did you have something motorized to get? No, it was a long walk up the dune. Yeah. That's the thing is, they call it a national park or whatever, but there's nothing there. It's just giant sand dunes, and you can just climb up them and roll down them and do whatever you want. But there's there's a little rest area right there at the parking lot, but then that's it. It's just sand dunes. You go there, you park your car, and then you just go play on sand dunes. There's like nothing to it, really. They don't have any equipment in there, around there, or anything. It's pretty much just like, here's some nature. Go play in it, I guess. Which is cool. Because there are some like national parks where there's a bit of a hike or something, and the Park Service has like installs like ladders or stairs in like weird places, so it's not like a total slog. Like around Monument Valley, if you've ever been to Monument Valley, there's some of those hikes have like you're hiking along and you'll come to like some stairs that have been like bolted into the rock to help you get places. But no, the sand dunes was nothing like that. It's just sand dunes. And we got this sweet picture of like the sand dunes, and then behind is like the snowy mountains, and that's really cool. It's weird, this juxtaposition of snow mountains and the sand dune. It's like desert and the tundra like all in the same picture. It's really cool. And it is very like out in the middle of nowhere. I remember we had to drive, even like the town that we rented the sandboards at, the town was still like 45 minutes away from the place. Anyway, this Comic on Demand brought to you by the Great Sand Dunes National Park. Now it almost feels like this pen is running out. Now I'm gonna have to buy a buttload of pens. Did your cat scratch? Yeah. Yes. Yes, she did. But it was not from that night well, like it wasn't from her in my studio. But it might have been from the same day. I might have been messing around with her. What I like playing Bug the Cat. It's one of my favorite games. And sometimes she's too fast. Or I'm too slow. Or a combination of both. But yes, that is from the cat. She's a turd, man. You could see how much she liked me. You see how mellow and chill she was, huh? I think because she was probably a bit of a street cat when we got her. And I think she still has a little bit of street in her. Because she's grumpy. Okay. Okay, so I'm pretty much done, but since it's not quite at an hour yet, I'll kind of show you so here's usually where I would stop it. Like this is where I'd be like, hey, there it is. And I'd leave it at about that stage. But just for kicks and giggles, I'll sort of do this is what the finishing inks would look like. Although I would erase the pencil first before I do this, but that's all right. I kind of just go through and just thicken up the lines a little bit. Add some kind of minimal shading here. Maybe I'll add eyelids. Fill in mouths. Oof. Stuff like that. That's what I do when I go back and do that. And then for this, since it's a silhouette, I would put that whole thing in black. And since that's in space, that would be all black with the little stars. Anyway. But There it is, people. There's your 4-panel comic. That is Comic on Demand episode. Oh, you know what? Let me just write that right here. Comic on Demand episode. Was this 59? All right. There it is, people. There's your Comic on Demand episode 59 of an alien and a human camping on Mars. And the second suggestion of a dude riding a moped that's all duct taped together, or mechanical using duct tape, something like that, with the mid suggestion of flying a kite. All right. Anyway, that's it, people. There's your Comic on Demand. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for watching. Seriously, I always appreciate you and your support, showing up and making the show work. It's because of you. Don't get my button. Anyway, you're awesome. See you next week. I want to try to do it on this side.